Alrighty, guys. Hello, hello. I could not do it. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. I make videos for NFL. They all get posted on this subreddit. It is called DF Sports. Other people post content here. You can find my post here. My username is Shook. That's my NFL post. That's my NBA post. I post updates with all the news that comes out, stuff like that. You can ask me questions. People talk strategy here. Really great place to be. Check it out. I'll have a link to that in the description below. And then if you are interested in joining my Discord, where I have premium content, in-depth videos going over each slate, player pools for cash, GPPs, cores for cash, GPPs, stuff like that. I'll have a link to that down below. I'm gonna try to. I need to take a sip of drink. Like my mouth gets so dry. Alright, mute if you don't want to hear. But I'm gonna try and move my mic away as far as possible. God damn it! I think the thing went up. All right, I got absolutely. I don't know. I lost money today. NBA was a good day. NFL, I just got absolutely destroyed. I got absolutely destroyed in NFL. Um, I think I'm down like $250 on the day. So we'll go over NFL first. So this is my cash lineup. Uh, I'm so mad at myself because I had Garrett Wilson here over Amari Cooper. That would have cashed. I just straight galaxy brained it. Straight galaxy brained. So the core that I had for cash this week was Josh Allen, Tyler Algier, Kenneth Walker, and Rashid Shaheed. All of which did well. My GPP lineups, so um, in GPPs we went with Josh Allen. So the core was Josh Allen. Wait, did we go with Josh Allen? Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay, we did. So the core that I had for GPPs was Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Tyler Algier, and Jacoby Myers. All of them smashed. And then you can take a look at my lineup. So I went Joe Burrow in one. I full stacked the Bengals in one. Ate a lot of chalk. Got different in some spots, like Isaiah Likely, Joe Mixon. I knew was going to be low and stuff like that. So you don't have to get different too much in GPPs to do well. You just got to get different in one spot. Um, this one I went to a low on Jacoby Myers, went to a low on Dawson Knox, and then just ate a bunch of chalk. Once again, you don't got to get too cute. So this lineup I thought was going to be extremely good because I had Zach Moss and Jamar Chase and the Vikings D only going early. All of them smashed. Like Chase did well. Zach Moss absolutely smashed. The Vikings D was great. And I was like, oh my god, this lineup definitely. I was in first for like, with this lineup, I was in first for like half the day. And then obviously the Bengals, didn't have to do much more in the fourth quarter. I was winning like 5K at one point. But yeah, this lineup, I was like, oh my god, this has a chance. Zach Moss, Jamar Chase, Vikings, everyone else late. Chase does well. Zach Moss smashes. The Vikings D does well. I'm like, okay, this has a chance. And then obviously it didn't work out. I went Jalen Hurts. He busted. I went Jonathan Williams, which I didn't like the Jonathan Williams play at all. That's why I didn't play him in cash games, but I wanted him in one GPP lineup. He busted. Greg Dortch was just fine. Rashid Shaheed was just fine. Dallas Goedert was just fine. AJ Brown had like his 50, 60-yard catch, and then just they ran the ball the whole time, I think. So, two of my GPP lineups cashed. One of them didn't. This was my showdown lineup for cash games. Just Jamal Williams moved me out of the cash. Unfortunate. This was my main slate NBA lineup. The core that I had for today was Trey Jones, Dwayne Washington Jr., Xavier Tillman, and Spencer Dinwiddie. absolute smash for all four. Then I rounded it out with Tim Hardaway Jr., Christian Wood, Kawhi Leonard, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I told everyone in Discord SGA was my favorite spend up on the slate. It wasn't really close. He was the highest scoring spend up on the slate, so that worked out well. Showdown I banked. I went with Kawhi, Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, John Collins, Zubac, and Terrence Mann. So that helped salvage the day a little bit. As you can see here, I won back like $300 or so. So about a $250 losing day, which I'll take it. It was looking bad to start going into the showdown slate for NBA. I thought I was gonna be down like, I think I had $600 in play today. I knew it was gonna be bad, so thankfully NBA helped save the day. So Pelicans at Washington. It's a good spot here for the Pelicans. We have Zion out, we have Ingram out, we have Larry Nance questionable, or we have Larry Nance probable. So CJ McCollum I think looks good in a good matchup. He's going to lead the way offensively. You know, hasn't had the assist rate that I thought he would have with the team to himself, because Trey Murphy is bricking shots, but going to play huge minutes. It's a good spot. I think CJ McCollum looks pretty good to me. We do have Larry Nance back. Did he play last game? I'm curious. No, he did not. So Jonas Valanciunas' minutes are more in question now with Larry Nance back. So just a tournament only play, but I do like his upside at 6.6K. Like I said, if I knew Jonas Valanciunas was going to play upwards of 30 minutes tomorrow, he would probably be in my lineup. So do what you want with that info, but the minutes are just much, much riskier now with Larry Nance back. The wings, now that they're priced up and we have CJ McCollum back, I don't have too much interest in. I think my favorite is going to be Najee Marshall at 5.5K. I don't expect him to play 38 minutes again. You had Trey Murphy get into foul trouble. I think you had Herb Jones get into foul trouble. You also didn't have CJ or Nance on the court. So he's not going to play that much again. He probably plays like anywhere from like 28 to 32 minutes or so, but he'll be productive while he's out there. Good rebounder, could stuff the stat sheet, good scorer, guy that can do it all, kind of guys that we want to roster. So Najee Marshall, definitely my favorite of the wings. I think he's fine. Not going to go out of my way to play him. Trey Murphy, I mean, has this guy just been god awful? He was really, really good earlier in the season. It just been god awful with no Ingram and no Zion. I don't understand it. So I think he's too. I think he's too expensive. Herb Jones more out there for his defense, especially with CJ back. So I'm gonna shy away. Now that he's priced up, and then I have interest in Jose Alvarado at 4.5K. I think we get around 20 to 25 minutes from him. Not going to play as much here like he did here with CJ back, and now you have Nance back, but they're going to close with him. They like his defense. He can stuff the stat sheet. Like I said, I think we get at least 20 minutes from him. I think he's fine. I think he's completely fine. He's someone I'll definitely have in my pool. He's not someone I'm going to go out of my way to play, but he's someone, if I land on him and I have like 4.5K left, I'll definitely consider playing him. Let's move on to Washington. So, tough spot here, man, but there's no Beal, so I like Porzingis' upside. I don't think anyone's gonna play him. He goes low owned every slate because of his price tag. I think people are just scared to play 9.4K for Porzingis, but I think that's a mistake. He's a starting center. He's power forward eligibility. So you have the option to play three centers in your lineup. I'm not scared of Jonas Valanciunas defensively. Sorry for the cough. Fuck. Not scared of Jonas Valanciunas defensively. I think he plays big minutes if the game stays close, and he can stay out of foul trouble. So I do like Porzingis. I think he ranks below some other spend ups, but I do like him. Kuzma, tough individual matchup for him, but he'll lead the way kind of offensively. Him and Porzingis. He can also a guy that can do it all. I don't hate it. Ownership is definitely going to be down. Monte Morris at 4.8K, I think is just safe, like super safe option. Probably not going to win you a tournament, but probably not going to kill you. Rui Hashimura probably plays like 20, 25 minutes. I think he's priced appropriately, but a fine option. And I like Daniel Gafford. With no Beal, they've been continuing to start Daniel Gafford. He's a good point per minute guy. He's stayed out of foul trouble. So yeah, I like me some Daniel Gafford tomorrow. I think he's a pretty good value play. I don't think I'll be getting to anyone else. Denny's minutes are on a downtrend of late. I don't understand why. but playable. I think we normally get, at least 20 minutes from him, closer to that 25-minute range. So he's definitely playable, but I don't know why he barely played last game. That was confusing. Chicago, Boston's a really tough spot here for Chicago. There's not much for me. Everyone's priced up with how they've been performing. Now you have a slow-paced, tough matchup. So DeMar Vooch, Levine, all tournament only plays for me. I think my favorite is going to be Levine, with that shooting guard, shooting forward eligibility, and he is just as high of a ceiling as anyone else, and he's just cheaper. We'll do my favorite plays from each team too. So Pelicans going to be CJ McCollum. Washington going to be Daniel Gafford. This is point per dollar. Point per dollar. Chicago, like I said, all three of the main guys, they're in play for GPPs. I don't think I can go to Patrick Williams on the slate, but he'll play big minutes. Fine value play if Caruso's out. Ayo would only consider with Caruso. I believe he's doubtful, questionable. So if Caruso's out, you can consider a guy like Ayo. They closed with Kobe White over Ayo last game. I'm curious. Do any of you guys know if Ayo got injured last game? Because I feel like he did. I feel like he got injured, and that's why Kobe closed, or they just needed Kobe's offense. But if Caruso's out, I'll keep saying it. Kobe White's a guy that I always like for GPPs. He's going to be in the rotation. He's going to be a decently high usage guy in that second unit. So I'm always interested in Kobe White for GPPs, only if Caruso is out. And then with the tough matchup, especially if they start Robert Williams, if you want to take a shot on a min price Andre Drummond and hope Vooch gets into foul trouble, I think that's definitely something you can consider in large field tournaments. So good matchup here for Boston. Um, Tatum, Brown, I'm not going to be running to play these guys. Like Tatum at 10.7K. Sorry. Feels priced appropriate or a little bit overpriced, but he does have a ceiling. I don't think he'll get a triple double again, but he definitely does have double upside and has flashed that 60 plus point ceiling. So if you want to go there in a good match, I wouldn't hate you for it. Jaylen Brown's too close in price to Tatum, so I'm just always going to prefer going to Tatum. We have Marcus Smart doubtful, so that's going to change some things here. I think Malcolm Brogdon at 5.3K is going to have to play a little bit more. Going to be extremely productive when he's on the court. He's just too cheap at 5.3K. I really like Malcolm Brogdon tomorrow. I think Derek White at 5.1K gets a boost. He'll most likely, he's obviously going to start. He'll have to play over 30 minutes. I think he's perfectly fine, but I do prefer Brogdon to White. They could do a number of things with these starting lineup. I know they started Peyton Pritchard one game without Smart, but I probably wouldn't go there. They could move Robert Williams into the starting lineup. If he moves into the starting lineup, I would assume he would probably play a little bit more. I would really like him if that happens. I still like him coming off the bench. He's not going to play big minutes. He's still on a limit. So I expect, 22 minutes from him if he comes off the bench. Really good point per minute guy. Phenomenal defender. Not scared of Vooch defensively. Did I say Joval on the Washington side when I was going over Porzingis? Did I say Joval or Vooch for the other side? I feel like I said Vooch. If I did, I apologize. But I'm not scared of Joval or Vooch. So either way, if Robert Williams starts or comes off the bench, I think he's solid value. But if he starts, I would have a lot more interest in him. And like I said, they could do a number of things. They can start Grant Williams. They could do like White. They could do, what could they do? They could do White. They could do Brown. They could do Tatum. They could do Grant. They could do Horford. Starting lineup. They could do White. They could do Brown, Tatum, Horford, Robert Williams. They could do Peyton Pritchard. They could do Derek White. They could do Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford. So just keep an eye on that. But the only thing that would really change for me is if Robert Williams starts, I would like him a little bit better. So tough spot here for the Knicks. Drew Holiday's still going to be on a limit, so can't go there. This Giannis game, if you played Giannis here against Charlotte at low ownership, he was low owned this slate. Phenomenal play. You got extremely unlucky. I feel extremely bad for you if you played Giannis this slate, but like him as a bounce back candidate here. He's always in play. He's matchup proof. Just a guy that's going to do everything. I don't necessarily like the matchup, and I think like guys like Jokic and LeBron look better point per dollar, but he's always in play. I don't have to give you a reason why he's always a good play. Bobby Portis, no thank you at that price tag. I'm not going to go to anyone else. Really tough spot here with the Knicks. RJ Barrett is doubtful. So you're going to see really big role here for Randall. You're going to see a really big role here for Brunson. I'm still fine paying these price tags for them with their added roles. They're basically going to play the entire game too. So it is a tough spot. It is a slow-paced game with the Knicks playing slow. So that definitely docks points off them for me. I'll dock points off their projection for that. Even though the projections already take that into account, I'll dock them even more personally. But I think they're both fine. Quickly, I think is overpriced. Quentin Grimes, I think is overpriced. Not going to play Mitchell Robinson in this matchup. Just way too prone for foul trouble. So I think it's just the top two guys for me on the Knicks. This game looks pretty appealing. Mute if you hear me. I'm taking a sip of orange juice. I'm going to try to move my mic away as far as I can. Okay. Sorry about that. Alright. So, going over the Spurs. So we have Keldon questionable, we have Jakob probable. We'll go over it both ways. So this is a really good pace-up spot for both teams. Both teams play really fast. Now Memphis is good defensively, but when you have two, I believe they're both top 5 in pace in the NBA. When you have two teams like this, the total is just absolutely insane. And those games are always going to be games that we want to target on NBA slates, especially smaller ones. So if Keldon plays, even though I got completely burned by him last game, he got injured. I like him at 7K. He's gonna shoot the ball probably 20 plus times. He'll probably play close to 35 minutes. Decent rebounder. Pretty scoring reliant of late, but I still like him if he plays. I think Trey Jones is just super safe at 6K. Pretty much like a lock for over 30. So very safe play. I really like Jakob Poeltl, especially if Steven Adams is out. His minutes have been on an uptrend of late. So if we're going to continue to get over 30 minutes of Jakob Poeltl at 5.9K, he is just entirely too cheap. So really like Jakob Poeltl, especially if Steven Adams is out on the other side. And then if Keldon's in, I probably won't touch Sochan, probably won't touch Collins, but Josh Richardson's been playing extremely well off the bench. Obviously, I would prefer Keldon to be out to play Richardson, but even if Keldon's in, I think we get around 25 minutes from Richardson. A solid scorer, not afraid to shoot the ball. I think he's solid value, regardless of Keldon's in or not. Would prefer him to be out though. And then Langford, I think, is only playable if Keldon Johnson is out. Now let's go over to Keldon's out. I think Trey Jones would look really good at 6K, holding the way offensively. He'd be forced to play pretty big minutes too, so would really like Trey. Already would really like Jakob Poeltl. Then you can consider guys like Jeremy Sochan, Romeo Langford, Keita Bates-Diop. Keita Bates-Diop started last game, only played 22 minutes though. Definitely a little bit concerning, but only GPP plays. Like Langford, he'll play big minutes if Keldon's out, but very low usage. It'll be like Trey Jones, Jakob Poeltl pretty much running the show, and Zach Collins playing the backup 5, Josh Richardson too. But they would be playable if Keldon's out. Let's move on to Memphis. So John Morant, we do have questionable. I think it was just a rest day, but it says his thigh, so I expect him to play. Steven Adams was an illness, so I'm going to say he doesn't play. I think they've been leaning heavily to sitting guys out when they have an illness ever since that, what is that? RSV? I don't know what it is, but we do have Brandon Clark questionable. So we'll go over both ways with everyone in and everyone out. So if Jaw's in, it's a back-to-back for Bane, so I don't know if he'll play. I believe he sat the last back-to-back. Let's take a look. So 4-5 it was. So he did. So I don't expect Bane to play. So with Bane out, assuming Bane's out, I think John Morant looks great in a pace-up spot. But no Desmond Bane, his usage bump just skyrockets. His peripheral stats are skyrockets. I believe he has over a 30% usage rate when Bane's off the floor. So would really like Ja. if he plays. Jaren Jackson Jr. at 6.8K. Not going to play huge minutes, but phenomenal defender. Not going to get 5 blocks. And maybe he can with how good he is at blocking shots. But like his ceiling, I think Steven Adams, if he plays, is fine. Just cupcake matchup. Dylan Brooks is a black hole. He would be okay. And then I think that would be it for me with Bane out. You can consider guys like Conchar. Conchar would be a solid value play, but I think there might be better value, but definitely a solid value play if Desmond Bane's out. So let's go over if Ja and Steven Adams, or if Steven Adams out and Ja's in. If Brandon Clark plays, he's going to become one of the best value plays on the slate. And then if Adams and Clark are out, Xavier Tillman's going to become one of the best value plays on the slate. Now let's go over it if both are out. So if Ja's out, Tyus Jones becomes the best play on the slate. It's not close. You're not going to have Bane tomorrow, so Dylan Brooks would look really good at 5.8K. You're probably going to get some run for guys like David Roddy. I would have interest in a mid-price David Roddy. I think Conchar will look like a very good value. I think you're probably going to get more run for Kennedy Chandler. Would have interest there. So that news is going to change everything. With no Bane, possibly no John, possibly no Steven Adams. So let's move on to the Lakers. So it's a tough spot here, but LeBron's just super safe. No AD, playing huge minutes. They're pretty much in must-win mode right now. I know it's early, it's before the All-Star break, but they have to win every game. So, like LeBron, Westbrook, I have interest in too. I don't think people are going to realize this, but his minutes have been on an uptrend of late. If we're going to continue to get a 35-ish minutes from Westbrook at 7.67K with no Anthony Davis, I think that's an interesting tournament play, and a lot of the guys in the Discord have been on Russell Westbrook of late. So if you want to go there, be my guest. Thomas Bryant, I love this guy. Maybe not for the slate tomorrow, but I love this guy. I think he's going to be a top 10 center in the league by the end of the year. He's been playing phenomenal. Definitely risk of foul trouble going up against Jokic, but I think he's perfectly fine if you want to take that risk. Dennis Schroeder's appropriately priced, and then I'm not touching anyone else. They went to Max Christie over Kendrick Nunn, but I don't think I can do it. So let's move on to Denver. So cupcake matchup here for cupcake matchup here for Jokic. I mean, no AD. He's just absolutely going to feast. So I absolutely love Jokic tomorrow. I think Jamal Murray, guard's been absolutely destroying the Lakers, so I like Jamal Murray at 6.8K, and then I'm not going to anyone else. Not much interest on Orlando, so it's a good matchup. Like, I think Ben Chera is fine GPP. I think Franz, overpriced. You have Mo Wagner back, so Wendell Jr., meh. I think Cole Anthony is probably my favorite play on this team, but I'm not in love with that either, so not much on the Orlando Magic. Really, bruh? Really, bruh? So Sacramento, it's a good spot. I always like Sabonis for GPPs just because, it seems like he's always been in this, 50 fantasy point range, but he does have that, 60, 70 point upside, but he can get that triple-double. So, like Sabonis for GPPs, like Fox for GPPs as well. Seems like Fox is always taking over in the fourth quarter, and then, Sabonis is doing everything else for the first 3 quarters. But, like both the top 2 guys here, outside of that, not much else. Herter's been phenomenal of late. If you want to go there, 5.7K, I wouldn't hate you for it. We do have Malik Monk back. I actually kind of like Malik Monk at 4.5K. Guy that is going to go unowned in GPPs, can always get extended when he's playing well. Legit has 40 fantasy point upside at 4.5K that has no ownership. So I'd like Monk for GPPs. Keegan Murray, been playing a lot better of late. I think we get 25 to 30 minutes from him. I think he's, perfectly fine. Kind of mad he lost that shooting forward eligibility. At least I think he had it. And then with Monk back, that takes Davion and Terrence Davis out of play for me. So I hope this helped you guys out. Something happened to KD. I hope this helped you guys out, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.